Hey guys, Pras at Dr. Multimedia here. We shot the first one of these yesterday. Hey Facebook, hey Instagram. One of the things that we talked about yesterday we talked about the basics, your website, your social media, your reviews, and I asked for feedback. I said, hey, what are the things that you want to hear about or talk about? And out of the topics yesterday, by and large, the overwhelming response was reviews. So what we did yesterday was we actually just logged on and we typed in dentist near me. Well, dentist near me produced 3 searches, so kudos to these 3 practices for thinking about that term and wanting to be found for it. And what you see right here, I know that my screen might be a little small. Let's see if I can expand out a little bit for you guys. You see these stars. And what these stars relate to on a Google search are your Google reviews. So let's dive a little bit deeper for Ernest Wong, DDS. He showed up first. There he is. Not a client of ours, so here's some free publicity for you, Dr. Wong. And you'll see here these reviews. You can now click this tab right here, and you can break this down. All 5-star reviews, so great job, off 9. And you can actually read what people were saying about him, whether it was 3 years ago, whether it was a year ago. These are showing the most relevant. I could switch over to the newest. And a year ago was his most recent one. So not the consistency we would like to see, but still he's got that perfect 5.0 record. Let's go back just so you guys can see a little more of an example. Let's go to Floss in La Jolla, 140. I'm guessing we're going to see a little more frequent. Now you see a little bit of variety, not all 5 stars. That's going to happen when you're at 140 reviews. And if I go newest here, 2 days ago, a week ago, 3 days ago, and so on. So they're consistently generating them. So what this is that anybody who has a Google account can find your business online, and they can look you up, and they can choose to leave you a review. It's going to ask me to sign in because I'm not signed on this computer. But if I was, I could just put in some stars, leave you a little bit of feedback, and there you go. When you're talking about a medical practice, it's not so much, hey, I need a new dentist, let me just look up Google reviews on a map and make my decision based solely on that. But what we talked about yesterday is if you don't protect your online reputation, you can actually be in jeopardy of people making those quick decisions. In the same mindset that we pick out a restaurant or we just call one person over another almost on a whim, it can influence your practice. But now that Google has introduced their reviews into the maps, we look a little bit closer. So Ernest Wong, 5.09 reviews. We looked at his. Floss in La Jolla, 4.9. Really good score, especially when you're talking about the volume of 140 reviews. Gentle Dental, sorry guys, 3.5 off 26 reviews. And now, as we all know, bad reviews are more fun to read than good ones. So I'm going to see what's going on there. And a lot of people are concerned about the nature of a bad review. What is it that people are complaining about? So now, I don't want to go newest, I want to go lowest. And here we have it. 2 months ago, I saw a female dentist here a couple years ago, removing all 4 wisdom teeth, had a bad experience. I don't want to get into the back and forth here, but I'm not going to bash the company, but I will say that the customer service was lacking. Don't get me wrong, if you're a doctor and you've ever gotten a bad review, you know that these things aren't always fair. Literally anyone can go on and write a review. They don't even have to be your patient. It could be a competitor. It could be someone that just got mad at you. And maybe they called and they didn't like how the receptionist sounded on the phone, so they left a negative review. That stuff can happen. So no one is saying that this is an unbiased, objective measure of a doctor's quality. But that's what makes this so frustrating, is you can be a great doctor and you can have a 3.5. Maybe it doesn't have to be the doctor, in the chair asking the patient, but you've got to build this into your practice's overall philosophy that someone, receptionist, front desk staff, technician, nurse, somewhere in the flow of them coming in and out of the practice, you want to be talking about this. And it doesn't have to be just pandering for a review. You legitimately want to know how the visit went. Did they have any issues? This is just basic customer service and quality assurance, because I guarantee you all those people that left bad reviews, if someone had asked them how their visit went before they left the practice, and maybe some of those concerns could have been addressed on the spot, makes it much less likely that they're going to go home and try to tell the internet about it. Not to go on too much of a tangent, but generally speaking, if someone leaves a bad review, they probably complained in the practice, or they were unhappy, and they felt like their voice wasn't heard, or they were just kind of glossed over, or they didn't even get the opportunity to tell someone. So when you're frustrated and you're upset, you go home and then you want to tell the whole world about it. And the internet has given people a way to do that. It's given people a way to tell the whole world. Now, funny experience from earlier today. We get a food delivery service to the office for our employees called Foosby. Shout out to you guys. They're just starting in San Diego. Now, admittedly, their first week, there's been some kinks to work out. So Sophia, her lunch was 45 minutes late. And normally speaking, if you tell someone food's going to be there at a certain time and then you're late, that's bad. You get angry, hungry people. So they made sure to reach out to her and they said, you know what? We're so sorry that your lunch was late. We're going to comp this meal. Plus, here's $10 on your next order. Now Sophia's happy. So the fact that they reached out and handled the situation, she could have been upset and later today reviewed Foosby, or more likely just told a colleague or someone else in the building, hey, I tried them out, they were late. Instead, they were proactive with their customer service, flipped it around. She was telling us that story because she was actually happy with them for taking accountability and owning the mistake. So there is that whole component of handling bad reviews. Now, obviously, the agenda here is you also want to isolate the people that were happy and get them to share those experiences. If your business is already doing a good job of taking care of your patients, the next natural step is encouraging those patients to share their experience so that other people will see them, hear them, relate to them. So we're kind of pre-programmed to only care if we're in these huge extremes. Unfortunately, that means if I'm generally happy and think my doctor's great, I don't associate that with taking an action to go tell the world about it. Add to that the convenience factor, right? It takes, even if it's quick, it takes a couple seconds to leave a review. And if that's not immediately on my mind, or if someone's not asking me to do it and asking in the right way, I'm generally not going to take time out of my day. If I look at my phone, I'm going to find, well, let's see, where is it? Let's see what's happened just since we've been doing this. I've got 3 missed calls. I've got 2 recent text messages and over 50 emails. So even if I pick this up thinking that I'm about to leave you a review, there are roughly 60 things that could get in my way on my path to leaving you a review. So if I'm just doing this, or if you're counting on people to remember or do it in the future, or I'm gonna ask everybody and then they're gonna do it from home, it generally doesn't happen. Just naturally speaking, especially when you're talking about your doctor, no one's thinking review when they're walking in. This is a conversation that our clients and our practices are forcing to make it more normal and make it part of what they do. If you guys saw Dr. Watts out in Florida yesterday, over 300 reviews in less than a year. You don't get there without an intentional plan on how to do it. The easy part of it, what am I talking about? Well, as I made it look easy, if you want to write a review for Floss in La Jolla, you've got to know to go there, then you've got to know to go there, then you've got to know to go here, then you've got to know to click one of these stars. My mom doesn't know that these stars are going to fill in when you click on it. Then I've got to sign in, then I've got to write a review. While that is just a series of touches, that is not a set of instructions you want to give to someone and hope that they can follow. So what's an example of making it easy? You put something on your website with some stars associated. How did we do? It's just meant to be a mechanism. So if I can direct you to here, and that wasn't that hard, right? Go to chinohillsanimalhospital.com, look for the stars. On the desktop view, it's readily available. I can show it to you on the mobile as well. Here's one option. We have a lot of different ways that we can do this, but on the mobile view, how did we do? Was it good or bad? Really binary world. Were you unhappy or were you happy? If you were happy, and I click the thumbs up, straight to the message. Thanks. That was all we needed, right? We just needed a tap. If you have a minute, please review us on Google. I click this button. Now I'm on the maps. I'm there. loads up the review. I'm ready to sign in. If this was my mobile phone, I'm already signed in. I go straight to the review page. Let's back up just a little bit. If I'm unhappy, click that. What can we improve? Never left the website. No reason to talk about Google. Here is my name, phone number, email. What message? How can we make it right? We'll contact you. And a good business will receive these and immediately do something about it. So we're filtering in some sense there. But the point of all of this is not that there's some fancy technology. It's that you can tell someone to go to your website. You pull out your phone, go to your website, click how did we do, and we can get them to the Google page. That makes it easy. That makes it just a couple of clicks, and more importantly, that means that you can get it done as soon as they pull their phone out of their pocket, possibly even in the practice. That's the real goal, is trying to get them to ask right away, make it easy to do so they can do it right away. Once they step out of the doors, real life happens. They're late, they get a phone call, they missed a call while they were in your exam room, now they're calling them back, they go home, kids, forget about it. They're never remembering that moment when they were willing to leave you a review. Creating that human connection, having a relationship, making it about you, the people in the practice and the patient, that's what's going to get you those heartfelt reviews. That's what's going to get someone who might be running late, but honestly, what's the difference if they're going to be 30 seconds more late to where they're going to do something nice for you guys, as opposed to just the, hey, I'm busy, I'm in a hurry, maybe next time. And you're going to get a lot of that. And that's okay. And actually, that's an important thing. That now you guys are just getting some free advice. This is what a lot of my clients pay for. So just, you're welcome, I guess, or thanks for joining us, is when it comes to asking, if you're not in sales, you might not be familiar with this concept that no is okay. And in sales, sometimes no is actually good. It gets you closer to your next deal. So a lot of people, if they ask for something and someone says no, and especially if they ask for something and someone repeatedly says no, they think they're asking the wrong question, they think they're doing a bad job, they think that they shouldn't do this anymore, they think that they're annoying people. None of that's the case, because it's always a numbers game. And so when I'm doing staff trainings, when I'm working with your staff one-on-one, conference call, in person, whatever, I spend a lot of time on this idea, which is if you ask 10 people and 9 of them say no, no thanks, I'm busy, I'm in a hurry, maybe next time, I don't want to, that's okay, because that means that one person said yes, and they left you a review, and they were happy to do it, and everything's great. And when I ask doctors, let's say even Dr. Wong, who has a perfect 5.0, 9 reviews, Dr. Wong, how many people come through your door just on an average day? Even the low end of the answers is going to be 5 to 10, but I regularly talk to practices that say 20, 30, 40. And I say, just imagine if you asked all 40 people and 9 to 10 of them said no thanks, and you only walked away with 4, your staff might view that as a disaster because 36 people said no. All I see are 4 great reviews, 4 more than you had yesterday. Now multiply that times 5 days a week, maybe 4 weeks a month. You could be close to 100 reviews in a month. And let's pull up your Google page right now, and oh my gosh, you have 12, lifetime to date. So when you look at the numbers, even a 10% success rate, and if you have a big practice, you could even go 5% success rate, and you're going to win in the long run, even with no being the answer most of the time. And so I try to rewire my clients' staff's brains to understand that no is okay when you're asking for reviews. All you need is the one yes. Now, here's the problem, is that if you don't ask all 40 that day, we get it. Front desks, you're busy, phone's ringing, people are checking in, people are checking out, people are mad, they're waiting, 1,000 things happening at once, you're wearing multiple hats. The easiest thing to forget is to ask for a review because it's not necessary, it's going to slow you down. What if there's a follow-up question? Trust me, understand all of that. So if you ask 40 people over the course of a month, well, you're still going to get 36 no's and 4 yeses. So what you could have accomplished in a day, you spread that over a month, now you only have 4 reviews for the month. Asking less frequently doesn't mean that people are going to say yes more often. It just means you're not getting through the no's fast enough, and you're not accumulating the reviews at the speed that you want, And so now you have 4 reviews. Now an unhappy patient leaves a bad one. You're 4 and 1. You're already treading water here. So the consistency in asking and understanding it's okay if people say no, and understanding that you're just trying to get the one yes. And when that goes well, that's a celebration. Everyone should be happy about that. There's no column in the reviews. It's 1 star or 5 star. No one's counting how many people didn't leave you a review. That's okay, and in fact, that's great news. If you can do anything to increase that percentage, you want to reward your patients, you want to give them some kind of reason to leave a review and up that from 10%, fine. But even at 10%, 1 out of 10, you're going to win by making it consistent, by asking everyone, not picking and choosing, not being selective, not, oh, I'm going to bother him. Hey, just ask. Your worst case scenario is that they tell you no. Your best case scenario is if they're unhappy that you figure it out, and somewhere in the middle, you're going to get those positive reviews. So asking, making it easy, and having the human connection, in my opinion, are 3 of the biggest keys. Now, like I said, a lot more to go over on that topic. We can't spend all day, unfortunately. It is Friday afternoon, and there are other things going on to close out the week. But one of the many comments that we got was about negative reviews. Kind of will close with a joke that I like to, not a joke, just a story I like to tell about online reviews, is that a negative review in the context is not always a bad thing. In fact, sometimes it actually provides legitimacy. If you see all positive reviews and no negatives, you can get a little uncertain of that. But everything I've ever bought on Amazon has a 1-star review. So a negative review by itself has not deterred me from buying the product. Now, first of all, they had way more good reviews than bad, but also I read the bad reviews, and I think most people do. They don't read good reviews, they just read the bad ones to see what was wrong. And it's the nature of the complaint that I'm looking at. So if I'm buying a couch on Amazon and someone left a bad review because the box came all tattered up and it fell apart, not as big a concern to me. I'm willing to still buy it if I think it's a good product. If I read reviews and people are telling me the couch fell apart after 2 months because of shoddy construction, now I'm a little uneasy. So you can take the experience of a negative review and actually spin that into a positive with the way that you handle it. But again, no matter how well you're handling it, you need the volume of good reviews to go along with that. And that's going to come down to asking, making it easy, and having that human connection. So guys, hopefully I answered the negative review question to your satisfaction. If you have any follow-up questions to the person that left that comment, please let me know. Hopefully we at least started down the path. And like I said, we could do probably about 8 unedited hours of content on Google reviews, Facebook reviews, Yelp reviews, and we'll get there in time. But hopefully I've started you down the right path. When I do staff trainings, this is often the first 5-10 minutes of it is me setting up the theory and the why and why this is important and really trying to break this stigma. That's kind of one of my personal goals, and someday I'll learn how to draw thinner lines, is to fix that impression that most non-salespeople have in their head about what it means to ask for something and be denied. But that said, hopefully getting you guys off to a good start. I'm a couple minutes late on a callback, so I want to make sure to get back to our clients. And really thank you. Couldn't have asked for a better response from our first video. Really encouraged and motivated the entire team here to just keep going. We weren't planning on shooting until Monday again, but we thought, hey, if we can find 15, 30 minutes in between phone calls, let's just do it. Let's get it out there. Let's keep things rolling. And get as many topics as we can out there. And if you like what you see, ask us for more. I didn't spend any time on our company, but we are Dr. Multimedia. My name's Pras, one of the founders and the CFO of the company at the moment. You can call us anytime. The information's listed below. Send us in emails. But that's not really what this is about. This is just about getting out some of the things that we say around here every day. And we want to share that with as many people as we can. So please, please, please send in any questions. Leave them in the comments. If you caught me the one time I did the foot thing, put the timestamp in there. I'll send you a check myself, and hopefully that'll teach me not to do it again. But other than that, really thank you guys that have watched and will watch. Can't wait to get to more of these topics and dive in. Have a great day and have a great weekend.